What's going on this Wednesday? This is Frank, House of Orange TV coming at you. Tennessee, East Carolina, we know what the pitch matchup is going to be. Now, how does that affect the rest of the weekend depending on how this goes? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some news and notes from Josh Elander, specifically starting pitchers, Landon Mack, Reese Chapman. Take a guess at where I think the lineup goes on Friday, and then we'll go from there. But make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the share, make sure you hit that subscribe button here as well. Josh Elander, Cliff Godwin, East Carolina's head coach, both announced their starting pitchers today for Tennessee. It's gone the way I expected, and I'll get more into it. Some of you told me I was crazy how I went. I gave my reasoning when I talked about it on Monday. I'll give my reasoning again why I like the way they're going here with it. Evan Blanco will start for Tennessee. Ryan Towers starts for East Carolina. The initial thought was it would be Ethan Norby for East Carolina, who normally I think you would consider him their ace, but Towers has been their Friday night guy since April 24th against South Florida. So I'll kind of get into some of his numbers, what I know about him here as well. But Evan Blanco goes for Tennessee. That leaves Tegan Coons to go game 2, whether that's against, whomever, North Carolina or VCU winners bracket or losers bracket. Tennessee plays at noon on Friday. If they win, they'll play 5 o'clock on Saturday. If they lose, they'll play at noon again on Saturday. But here was my reasoning for it. They moved Evan Blanco up against Arkansas. I didn't necessarily agree with the move when it happened, but now you're looking at over a week rest for it. Here's my thought on this. All right. I'm not necessarily saying he's my number one. Okay. So don't get me wrong on what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is I think Tennessee, to have a shot to win this regional, has to go 2-0 out of the gate. The best way to do that, in my opinion, is Evan Blanco game 1, Tegan Coons game 2. And don't get me wrong, I feel good with Coons either way. Coons is the ace of the staff to me. I feel like Tegan Coons, if you're able to beat East Carolina, gives you a much better chance to beat North Carolina than Evan Blanco does. That's just my thought process. That's why I said I go this route on it. Now, if you get later into the weekend, though, obviously that means Coons gets one start. He wouldn't be available to come back out of the bullpen if they were to get to Monday, so to speak. But Josh Elander also said Brandon Arvidsson, Cam Appenzeller will be available for multiple appearances over the weekend. Evan Blanco, I would think, too, depending on what his pitch count is on Friday, could be available if you get to Sunday with it. Getting into East Carolina's pitcher, they announced Ryan Towers. Again, he's been their Friday night guy since April 24th against South Florida. During that time, when he entered, looks to me like he was more of a – trying to see, was he more of a bullpen guy? I can't really tell on that. I could actually get to – let's see. It doesn't really specify here. I'm looking at an article from VolQuest.com talking about it. I do know that he moved into that Friday night spot. When Ryan Towers entered that Friday night spot, he had a 5.47 ERA. Now he's lowered it down to 3.04. Now, granted, this is against Wichita State. I think I said South Florida. It looks to me actually like he went into rotation. Actually, it does look South Florida, April 24th. That's when it started to kind of line up at that point. South Florida, Memphis, Rice, Florida Atlantic, and Rice again is who he threw against. During that time that he went into the rotation, he's only given up 3 earned runs on that time. Not a big strikeout pitcher, 42 strikeouts, 20 walks on the season, and most of his outings are 5 or less. He does have the one outlier against Memphis on May the 1st where he did strike out 10 in that game. Walks don't look – I mean, he's had some games with 3 walks stuff, but what it tells me as well, efficient pitcher, he's going to throw strikes, doesn't give up a ton of walks. Again, as far as home runs on the season, he's only given up 6. And Cliff Godwin talked about him, and this is a quote. He said, talked about Ryan Towers, said he is a guy that knows how to pitch. He is a savvy pitcher. So he's gotten a lot better since the beginning of the season. He had the internal brace last summer. So he's battled through some injuries throughout his career. Towers, he is a transfer from Loyola Marymount, where he came over. And, he's allowed, since he's winning the rotation, 5 runs, 28 2/3 innings as he's come along. And 20 hits, 8 walks during that span. Again, and this is Godwin's quote here, says, "The fastball will not blow you away." Godwin said it will be 88 to 90. He has a breaking ball, a cutter, a slider. He has a changeup. He knows how to pitch. He's got his work cut out for him. I know that Tennessee is very offensive and they like the long ball. We will have our hands full come Friday. And, again, it looks like for both teams, it's maybe not necessarily their best pitcher going out of the gate. I think as far as East Carolina goes, Towers has been leading off the weekend for them. Norby threw right at 140 pitches last weekend in their conference tournament. I don't think it would be a good idea on short rest to turn around. So I would think, East Carolina's got Norby going Saturday. Coons definitely goes on Saturday for Tennessee. If, regardless, whether it's, to go 2-0 or it's win or go home at that point. Again, I'm not saying Blanco's your best guy. Now, Blanco's, Pat, going back to looking at his line, I mean, he's probably going to give up some runs. Let's make no mistake about it. I mean, SEC play, he was Georgia gave up 3 runs, 5 2/3. Missouri, 1 run and 7 2/3. ERA was at 2.73 then. Now it's gone up to 4.94 since that point. He's had some pretty good outings against LSU, Mississippi State, where he went over 6 innings, 2 runs in those. Ole Miss, he was efficient in that one, 3 runs. Alabama, 3 runs. But since that, his last 4 starts, Kentucky in 5 innings tagged him for 6. Texas, of course, he got the win against Texas. He went 7 innings, 5 runs in that one. Oklahoma, 6 innings, 3 runs. Arkansas, again, at that point, I think we should have seen Nick Abraham one of those days, and I didn't have a problem seeing Cameron Appenzeller, regardless of what order you went with it. But now it's a moot point. Everybody's rested up. Everybody's ready to go. And I would imagine Blanco will come out and give you a good outing on Friday. He's a guy that's been here. He is a veteran guy. He's pitching the College World Series. He's pitching the NCAA tournament, plenty. So you've got that going for him because they're playing it off, all that veteran guy, all this. To me, what it boils down to, and they're not going to say it, Blanco, if Tennessee does what they should do, he gives you that solid outing, 6, 7 innings. They should win this ball game on Friday. And I'm not discounting East Carolina. Good ball team. I just think Tennessee's better. That's where I'm going on that one. And Ryan Towers throwing 88-90, mixes it up a lot. Sometimes those type pitchers, especially him being a lefty, gives Tennessee trouble. All right. What I expect to see out of your lineup, Josh Elander did say Reese Chapman is a full go. So we know you're probably looking at your lineup of Garrett Wright, Blake Grimmer, Henry Ford, Trent Grinlinger. You'll probably see Reese Chapman right along there, Levi Clark. I know there's some debate on Blaine Brown. I don't know how Blaine Brown's going to do against this dude with the all-speed stuff. He's going to be in. Yeah, I mean, you can bet on that. Manny Marin, I'm not going necessarily what the order will be. I'm just saying where we're at. Manny Marin, I feel like in this one, this type pitcher here, throwing 88-90, Stone Lawless hits these non-conference guys pretty well. It's conference play where he normally has more trouble. I think Stone Lawless plays into this one on Friday. I think you'll see him. Where do you go Saturday? I think it depends. I think a case could be made to put Jay Abernathy back in on Saturday. But you're set up. You got your lineup. Chapman's healthy. Pitching again. To me, to have a chance to win this regional, you've got to come out of the gate 2-0. You've got to do it because if you lose either one of those 2 games, you're going to have to win 5 to get out of that regional. I just don't think Tennessee has the depth to do it. And I don't honestly know that many teams have that depth. Let's be honest about it. I've seen some stuff talking about the Inside Carolina, which covers North Carolina, said there's concerns about their pitching and their depth on it. But it's supposed to be really good. They're a really good fielding team. But it's one game at a time. East Carolina's the focus. They can hit. If Blanco's not on it, this team can hit him and chase him. Let's make no mistake about it. They don't hit a lot of home runs, but they do hit the ball well. They're a good contact hitting team. So Tennessee, I mean, they'll have to be on it on Friday. I don't think you can come out lackadaisical. I don't think you can come out and be looking forward to Saturday by any means. You better come out and focus on the game at hand, or you're going to the loser's bracket on Saturday. Bottom line with it. But again, if Tennessee loses this game, there's going to be second guessing Josh Elander on this. I'm not, because I think the way it is set up he's not said Coons will go game 2. He's going game 2. There's no mistake about that. There's no doubt about that. So you're looking at Blanco, Coons, Landon Mack update today. He is on the roster. He is day-to-day, it says. So, what does that mean? If they make it to a game 3, who starts it? Is it Landon Mack? Is it Cameron Appenzeller? Is it Brendan Arvidsson? Might they have to go with someone else? I think you got to do about what you can to get out of those first 2 games with wins, because you're in a pretty good spot then. What can Mack give you? To me, if Mack's going to be available, if he's going to pitch, I start him in game 3. Because I've seen some speculation, maybe bullpen. I don't know. I've seen it on message boards and stuff where they've kind of said, maybe if we see him out of the bullpen. I think if you pitch him, you start him. That's just my opinion on it. And I really think, too, to me, to have the best shot to beat North Carolina, if you get there, I think there's 2 guys can beat them. That's Tegan Coons. That's Landon Mack. Obviously, that depends on his health. Could an in-form, sharp Brandon Arvidsson could too, but he's been inconsistent. I like him out of the bullpen. I like where you go. But it'd be interesting to see what they do if they get to Sunday on that. But, again, you got to take care of what's at hand. I'm telling you, man, if Tennessee wins on Friday, I like their chances to at least go 2-0. I like Coons against North Carolina. The better the team, the bigger he has stepped up this year. His biggest outings have been against the best teams. I fully and totally expect he's going to bring it on Saturday if they make it to play North Carolina. And if that happens too, I don't know, man. I've got a quiet confidence that I think Tennessee's going to win this regional. I think people are selling them short. I think I've seen some of the odds are giving them like a 26.9% chance to win this regional. And it is listed as the toughest regional out of all of them. So no easy games. I don't think it matters who you play. You're going to have to bring it every game, whether it's obviously you're playing East Carolina, whether you play North Carolina or VCU in game 2. You're going to have to bring it, or these teams can send you home. Bottom line. But we're set up. It's I think it's set up the way it needed to on it. When you get to supers, if you get to supers, that's a different story on it. But I would imagine they'll probably keep the same order depending on how far they go. Any more updates, anything like that, I'll keep you updated. Friday, again, I'm still playing it by ear. I want to go live. The game happening at noon was pretty much a worst-case scenario for me with that. But we're going to try to make it happen. We'll see what we can do on that. Frank, House of Orange, have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you when I see you.